There are some hotspots. I'm going to get behind the camera to give you a closer look. Now, there are more than 30 people dedicated. Most picnic tables would be turned, but these ones are literally nailed into concrete. Because it's built higher than her property, water just spills back onto her home. A common way first responders use Narcan is with a nasal injection. The spray goes into one or both nostrils. Right now, 2 spots are up for grabs to serve on an ethics board that's not tied to the city. People have brought so much stuff they've had to stack it in piles, a lot of it taller than myself. These tablets are not cheap. Amazon starts pricing the Fire 7 at $49.99. Right now, there are more than 580 children who need a guardian. Now, he calls it his baby, but he no longer has to travel for business thanks to a physical location he has now. We are standing on the 5th floor of the Capitol, but take a look down below me. This is the 4th floor. I'm in one of those recliners you were talking about. We're actually inside the largest of the 14 auditoriums here. I'm going to get up and so we can show you a little bit more of this theater. We're talking about 250 seats just in this auditorium. You can bring your food and drinks here, all while enjoying a 72 by 30 foot screen right over there. It's not up yet. There's still a lot of construction going on. The goal is to open July 27th, so we've got 1 month to go. Now, CMX Cinema says they're bringing new features to Tallahassee, including D-box seats. Those are the kind that move during certain parts of a movie. Now, the theater also has a cafeteria style food court and full service bar. It's a scratch kitchen, so everything is made right here. Now, as for those ticket prices, they're still working it out, but they say it will be competitive with the market. And of course, we'll have much more in a special Building Tallahassee report tonight.
Now, it's been an emotional day for those stopping by the yoga studio to pay their respects. Our Stephen Jiwanmall spent much of the day at Benton Place. And Stephen, what have people been saying today?
Stephanie, what happened here has no doubt shaken this community. Many of the people who stopped by to pay their respects weren't connected to the victims. They just wanted to be here. Ricky Lee Davis cried for people she didn't even know. Friday was her first day working as a host for Food Glorious Food, just yards away from Hot Yoga Tallahassee. She said the restaurant jumped into action as victims ran in.
It was probably at the point that the entire restaurant was, in our kitchen.
Ricardo's restaurant sits right underneath the yoga studio. The owners closed the door Saturday out of respect for the victims. Above them, a growing memorial from strangers, family, and friends.
It was just very, very unfortunate, and I just wanted to make sure that I paid the respects to the people that may have lost their lives or were injured in any way.
These are families, Stephen, who are affected by something they had no clue and never expected.
The grief was too much for many to share on camera, but from the pain comes a message of hope.
Out of all the places I've lived, I've never seen a town come together like Tallahassee comes together. Just recently, Hurricane Michael came through, and we saw the resources that were available for that.
We're too good a city, to have these kind of things happen. Tallahassee is a great place to live.
To live and to love. Now, the building manager has asked the press to stay off the 2nd floor where the yoga studio is located, but I can tell you that memorial has grown even more than what you just saw. We'll be back with more live coverage later in our newscast. Live in Tallahassee, Stephen Jiwanmall, WTXL, ABC 27.
This is where I get down, right back here.
Derek Howard is ready for business. How's it feel to look at a building that's yours?
Oh my goodness, it's definitely a wonderful feeling.
He's better known as Debo, and this is his new store. A return to a permanent place after heartbreak. January 12th, 2017, Debo's store on Tharp Street went up in flames. He didn't have insurance, and he lost more than $100,000 worth of equipment. But despite the loss, he still had faith.
He done brought me so far. He's not going to leave me now. I mean, you could tell by the support that I have out there.
After the fire, Debo had to work out of his van. Now, he calls it his baby, but he no longer has to travel for business thanks to a physical location he has now.
It's almost like angels just came down, just like, we're going to show you, man. We're going to get through this.
One of those angels was Alex Dixon, who goes by the name Rico. Debo said Rico offered him the chance to join their businesses under one roof.
He said, what do you think about that? I was like, Yeah. I was getting all excited. The emotions were running.
His store on Tharp Street burned down when the complex owner set it on fire to collect insurance money. Depot said his new location has security and insurance to keep another tragedy from happening.
You never know who supports you, who's with you, who's not with you, who's against you, and that type of thing. But now I could say that we're looking for a better future.
And that future is back with a boom. In Tallahassee, Stephen Jiwanmall, WTXL, ABC 27. The sounds of terror echoing through the Franklin County Courthouse.
Second scenario is about to start.
But no one is in danger. The Franklin County Sheriff's Office organized a large-scale training session to get ready for the real deal.
We're seeing it all across the country, so this is just our way of trying to be prepared and be ready.
The training simulated different situations, including an active court session with an actual judge and counsel. Local police, along with the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, work with deputies to handle every high-pressure situation, including at the security access point,
Which is probably one of the most vulnerable places because it's open to the public, so it takes really sharp individuals there who are prepared for any kind of danger.
The training inside the courthouse was so loud, shots could be heard from around downtown Apalachicola. People started calling 911 thinking there was a real emergency. The sheriff says it's important for everyone in the community to be prepared.
It's like anything else. To be good at something, it takes repetition, so this won't be the first time and it won't be the last.
In Franklin County, Stephen Jiwanmall, WTXL, ABC 27.
Yeah, I got it.
For Kyle Thomas, this comes naturally. He and the guys at North Florida Fence and Tree Service from Gainesville
Keep going, keep going.
are tackling their next job. But just one of them is going up that tree,
Rock and roll.
and it's Kyle. He was driving home with his wife 4 years ago when his life changed.
I had a really big limb, probably like this big, come straight through the middle of my windshield. And I stuck my arm out to grab my wife, and whenever I did that, the limb just snatched my arm.
Kyle was in a coma for 2 weeks and woke up to a new reality.
It was either amputate my arm or I was going to die because I caught gangrene.
All right, go up.
Kyle said the state denied him disability pay 5 times, and he was back at work just a month after the accident.
I'm not the type of person that's just going to let something, this is small, you know, I'm here. That's the main thing, I'm still alive.
He's one of the hardest workers I've ever met. I mean, and he's all about safety, keeps my company going, and if I'm not there, I trust him with my life.
Kyle climbs about 3 trees every day, and every tree he climbs is another risk to his life. But he says helping people here in the Big Bend right now is worth it.
We're not up here trying to make $1 million. We just want to help out, make some money, you know, get the community back on its feet.
You guys are our neighbors. I mean, Florida's family. That's the way I look at it.
Kyle had to relearn a lot just to get back to work, but he said there's a lesson in what he's been through.
Everybody's going to have something at one point in time of their life that's going to bring them down. But it's up to that person to get back up.
And for Kyle, he takes that literally. In Tallahassee, Stephen Jiwanmall, WTXL, ABC 27. No matter where you go or where you look, change is coming to Tallahassee. The city has nearly 100 projects in the works.
You've got a lot of pent-up demand that's meeting opportunity right now in the marketplace, so it's an exciting time to keep an eye on these things.
It's almost like one thing is leading to another, and people are getting the excitement about what Tallahassee is and what it can become.
Here are 4 projects to watch for, some already underway. First up, this site on Tharp Street by Lake Ella will be the home of a new assisted living community. Canterfield already has a few locations in the southeast. Not far from here, St. Paul's United Methodist Church looks forward to the development.
One of my dreams, for example, is to provide a worship service for memory loss, folks who are suffering from memory loss. And I think having a new population around us just gives us a great challenge to offer more ministry.
This 3-story facility will feature 97 units as the city adds more options for its older residents.
In fact, the city of Tallahassee is looking at developing an additional senior center based on the increase of needs for our community.
Next, we head south on Monroe Street to Midtown, where it intersects with Thomasville Road. This building will be demolished to make room for a 5-story multi-use facility called Midtown Point. The project will include commercial space, residential units, a bar, and parking garage.
Midtown has been very successful in recent years in terms of activity after 5 o'clock, entertainment options, restaurant options, which we expect that to continue for the foreseeable future.
In College Town, this will be the site for new housing, retail, and restaurant space. And right next to it, a hotel, rooftop bar, and more. The site by the Gain Street roundabout will feature rail yard lofts and Hotel Indigo. The hotel will have more than 140 guest rooms, and construction hopes to get going this spring. The lofts would follow within a year, adding to an area seeing more students move in.
They need grocery stores, they need places to eat, they need places to shop. All of that stuff is coming online because those kids are moving down to the Gain Street corridor.
Finally, we go downtown, where this site will add some height to the Tallahassee skyline. An 18-story mixed-use building called Washington Square will feature the 25th location in the country for Lowe's Hotels.
The city for a long time has been working to get a full-service and/or upscale hotel downtown. That, coupled with the fact that it's going to be a true mixed-use building.
The project along Jefferson and Gadsden Streets will include 33 condos, a rooftop restaurant, office space, and ballroom.
We talk about it for many years about having an 18-hour downtown where there's a lot of activity after folks get off work, and we're starting to see the fruits of all the efforts that people have made.
City officials estimate the project will produce 700 jobs and more than $88 million in total economic output. It's expected to be complete by May 2020. While some of these projects may take some time, the capital city hasn't stopped developing, as our series will explore. In Tallahassee, Stephen Jiwanmall, WTXL, ABC 27.